Out on the standard incandescent light bulb. A new bill introduced into Congress this week is aiming to phase out the conventional light bulb by the year 2020 and replace it with more costly but more energy efficient compact light bulbs. Is this a great way to save energy and help the environment, or is it merely a case of government gone wild? Both sides of that issue now with Jim Presswood from the Natural Resources Defense Council and Myron Ebell from the Competitive Enterprise Institute. Nice to have you both with us. Let me start with you, if I could, Jim. You basically have, a few structural issues with the proposal, but overall, you think it's a pretty good idea, right? Oh,
yeah, definitely. It's it's a great idea to be producing more efficient light bulbs, and it's exactly what we need to have the government kind of giving performance standards that industry can meet whichever way it wants to provide us really good, high-quality, efficient light bulbs will not only reduce global warming, but also save consumers and businesses money.
Long term, yeah,
yes.
Even though they're a little bit more expensive short term.
A little bit more expensive on the front end, but you save a lot of money over the long term.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, Myron. What's the issue?
First of all, I have nothing against compact fluorescent light bulbs. In fact, I have a bunch of them in my house after our local power company raised their rates 39%. But there are plus and minuses to these energy-saving bulbs as there are to incandescent bulbs. For example, I'm very surprised that an environmental group that has waged war on mercury in our environment would be so enthusiastic about compact fluorescent light bulbs. I've got here, the EPA has long instructions about what to do if one of your compact fluorescent light bulbs breaks, and they're very complicated, and it's not easy to actually do what they want you to do. You have to go through a whole lot of steps. You have to wear gloves, air out the room, don't use a vacuum cleaner, put it in a double bag, take it to your local recycling center.
Because mercury is a component, is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, look at incandescent bulbs are very cheap and they use more energy. But for example, when I replaced bulbs in my house, I put fluorescent bulbs in the places where they were appropriate, and I didn't put them, for example, in places where I hardly ever turn on the light. A 25-cent bulb does just as well if I only turn it on for an hour or two a year than a $4 bulb.
Okay.
Another example is some places these bulbs don't work. For example, I've had very short life expectancy on some of these bulbs because they don't like rapid changes in temperature.
Okay,
so
let's get Jim to address this.
If these bulbs are so good, right.
Jim?
Yeah, basically, the mercury is not really the big issue here. I mean, there are a lot more larger sources of mercury, such as, power plants that emit tons of mercury pollution in the United States each year. And if you have more efficient light bulbs, you'll be able to reduce the amount of power that you need, and therefore reducing power plant air pollution comes out with a lot of mercury. And we just think it's just a lot of sense. And again, these are performance standards, and as the industry gets better and better at making bulbs, we'll have more and more efficient light bulbs, which will save people money, reduce global warming pollution, and just makes the right it's just the right move at this time.
Myron, I know you say you don't have anything against that particular bulb. Is it more that you are resistant to a government mandate of them?
Yes, I don't think there's a very good track record for government mandates. If these bulbs are so superior and they save so much money, then consumers will choose them. And I think you see that more and more of them are being sold. But why should we restrict consumer choice? The government has a very poor record on these mandates. For example, new washing machine standards went into effect at the beginning of this year. Consumer Reports reported on these new models and said, unless you can spend close to $1,000 on a washing machine, you cannot buy one. There is no model available that will actually get your clothes clean unless you wash your clothes 2 or 3 times. So I think you can see that when government gets involved between consumers and products, it often leads to very unfortunate and unintended outcomes. So I think it's much better to let consumers choose, and if this is a better technology, it will succeed.
Well,
that's exactly the problem. The consumers don't really have much of a choice right now in a lot of places because they don't have access to these energy-efficient bulbs. And, we've had these bulbs around for almost 125 years, and technology really hasn't changed that much since, Thomas Edison first invented it. So it's about time for a change and about time for us to move light bulbs to the History Museum where they belong.
Well, we will see. Considering our company is named General Electric, and light bulb has been a key component of our company for a long time. We'll see what happens.
Incandescent light bulbs, that is.
Incandescent, and well, we're on the cutting edge of the other technology as well. So thanks to both of you. We appreciate it. We're going to track the markets for you minute by minute. A strong day on Wall Street. A bond trader and an equity trader join us. We'll find out whether they think this rally will last into the end of the day. Back in a minute.